Hi, this is Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com, coming to you on another warm but rainy day, monsoon season. Who are here in Thailand, the witnessing the world, and just been to place some money in a charity temple. It's a temple, and I've talked about this before, that actually provide blessings and medical care, basic medical care, basic recovery from accidents, road traffic accidents, which particularly interests me because that was my industry with the AA for 30 plus years, helping people in breakdown situations. That's what they do as a charity. And then they quite often end up burying people who haven't got families to provide coffins and sacred ground to bury them. So you go and make a donation, and you put your name and you put the person that you want the monks to pray for. So basically you're paying for blessings. It's called making merit, and then they use the money to provide coffins and sanctuary and respite and recovery, medical services and coffins for people who haven't got families to provide them for them, which is really good. This chap, when I went to pay, said thank you for helping the poorly. And it made me realise, because you know I'm into etymology, that the root language of poorly, there's a connection between poorly and poor, isn't there? You know, you're poor, in other words, you haven't got a lot of wealth. And the Latin root probably of poor and poorly is if you haven't got a lot of wealth, you haven't got a lot of health, assuming that money creates health, and we know holistically that it doesn't. And yet that's the assumption, and that's the link in those words, poor and poorly. Probably in Victorian times in Britain, the poor who lived in the sewer-ridden gutters had the bubonic plague and rats everywhere, and we know that lack of hygiene creates ill health and makes you poorly. But I mean, if you live holistically in line with nature, and you wash and clean and eat healthy, you don't have to have a lot of money to eat well. In fact, overindulging quite often causes things like gout and obesity, and it's lack of education and possibly overindulgence, which quite often the middle and upper classes do. They eat the wrong things because they think they can afford them, and then they think they can pay for medical attention later rather than paying attention when they're young and fit and healthy. Fantastic saying is, if you don't take time for health now, the universe or God will make you take time later when you're in a hospital bed waiting to get well, or a queue waiting to see some health care practitioner. So take the time now to be fit and healthy, to look after your body. To me, there's nothing poor about not having money in the bank. It's having love in your heart and having a bright mind and a loving intention and positivity, and that makes you well, that makes you wealthy, but not in money or status or things. So I find here that the people are, and all over the world really, wherever I've travelled, that people who have positive expectations, make the best of what they've got where they are, don't curse and swear, kind people, are wealthy, they're not poor, they're abundant in love and kindness, they're not poorly, they're healthy because they look after themselves. I see a lot of people with very little here in Thailand who are living to a ripe old age because they're looked after by their parents, they're not written off, they're not. Society here isn't ageist, it's quite glamorous to grow old here. So I'd like to redefine the definition of poor and poorly. And I'd like to say, if you've got your health, you're well and wealthy, and that's got nothing to do with money. If you want to know how to be well and how to have a bright mind, then maybe I can help you with that. But for now, this is me, Mike from Mr. Mike Garner, witnessing the world and saying, be healthy, be wealthy, be happy, be kind, be loving, smile, expect the best, be positive, and help each other. God bless.